In A New Hope, as Darth Vader and his forces are taking control of the Tantive IV, capturing or killing everyone on board, R2-D2 makes his escape on orders from Princess Leia Organa. C-3PO follows along, protesting the entire time. If this pod were simply destroyed, R2-D2 would never have delivered Leia's message, Luke never would have gotten involved, and the Death Star plans would have been destroyed, making the Death Star the impenetrable fortress the Empire thought it was. Cynics would say this is plot armor. I always thought it could be explained as the will of the Force. While the droids aren't alive, so not technically part of the Force, you can't deny that they, especially R2, have been crucial to the Republic, the Clone Wars, the Rebellion, and the Resistance. It turns out, like everything in the galaxy eventually gets, there is an explanation for this. As the droid's escape pod flees the battle and hurtles towards Tatooine, it's spotted by a man named Hyja. Hyja was a gunner on the Star Destroyer Devastator. He points it out to his commanding officer, Gunnery Captain Bolvin. Bolvin makes the call not to fire. The Imperial military is strict. Every power cell, every fuel ration must be meticulously accounted for. The novelization of A New Hope mentions this specifically, and looking back over the franchise, there are notes of this in Rebels as well as Andor. Along with the incessant bookkeeping and related paperwork, the novel, from a certain point of view, shines more light on this incident. Gunnery captains' promotions were tied to their kill ratios. Shooting a pod with no life aboard would skew that ratio, hurting Bolvin's chances of promotion. Even in the film itself, the gunner and his commanding officer reason that the pod must have short-circuited as a result of the battle. The conversation had the air of this not being a rare occurrence. There's also a theme throughout the saga of the current evil force, the Empire in this case, underestimating their opponents. Would it ever occur to this galaxy-wide superpower that a battered astromech droid could hold the keys to the fate of a weapon station they all thought to be invincible? Only Darth Vader himself thought to follow up on the lead. Given his history as a general in the Clone Wars, unconventional tactics were sort of his thing. Now that I'm really digging into this to write this transmission, it occurs to me that if Vader would have recognized R2, or he at least would have thought of his old faithful droid and how capable an R2 unit could be throughout their numerous adventures. From a certain point of view, is a boiled-down version of what the expanded universe has always been so good at, filling in blanks we didn't know were blanks, and answering questions only the most die-hard fans bother asking. We'll definitely be revisiting these stories in future transmissions. There's actually a funny, full-circle kind of story later in the novel where more paperwork is generated because of the decision not to fire on the pod. Check out this transmission next to have more of these questions you may never have asked to be answered.